Hello fans, I'm Kevin Piland, and I want to thank you for watching this episode of the Kevin Piland Show and for listening on iStyle Radio today. Now, I am live at KGNZ, but not in the studio this time because I want to talk to you about what happened last night. If you were listening to KGNZ at Night with Dustin Tatro last night, I called him and I told him that I curb stomped the devil by buying myself some brand new bike pedals. And let me tell you something, those bike pedals are amazing. And on top of that, Dustin Tatro had me on the radio, and I loved it. And when we come back, Shawn Hardesty and Sheryl Hardesty are going to be guests. Stay with us. And welcome back to the show. Now, before I interview Sheryl and Shawn, I must tell you about a story I came across today. A man goes to his neighbor's house by mistake, drunk, and kills the homeowner living in the wrong house because he went to the wrong house. His house was actually next door. And because of that, the neighbor in question was dead. Now, the drunk man was arrested and charged with manslaughter for the incident. It's just one of those honest mistakes that turn deadly. You know, most honest mistakes are like, that's right, I might need to go over here, but this one was just messed up. And I couldn't figure out why, It just did not make any sense that we had to deal with that. I just never knew what could happen when someone goes through that. I just couldn't. And when we come back, we'll hear from both Shawn and his mother Sheryl after this. And welcome back to my show. The good news is my friend Shawn Hardesty is the guest. The bad news is his mom couldn't make it on the show, but let's welcome Shawn to the show today. All right. So tell me a little bit about what you thought of why I called Dustin about my bike. What was that about?
Basically, it's a way to curb stomp the devil. Like, we all have things that break down. Even my computer breaks down at times, as you can tell in the background, probably. But basically, how he fixed his bike was curb stomping the devil by getting new pedals. Sometimes the devil gets in our way. The devil has to get in our way of doing workouts or taking care of our everyday lives or taking care of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And basically, you gotta just curb stomp the devil every now and then. Tell him, shoo away, get out of my life. And yeah, as you probably know or probably don't know, my mom was supposed to be on here, but she had to rush to a family member to see about her adopted dad or her stepdad or whoever it was.
Yes.
But I wish her the best there.
Oh, yes. We all have to wish her the best. And she got to be on the radio last night at KGNZ to talk about the struggles that you and her went through. What was it like to have her on the radio for the first time?
It was actually pretty good. She was telling me in the car she wants to learn more on it. She wants to practice before she goes up there. So, yeah, just glad to actually have her on the radio for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And I told her, I was like, Dustin's like a brother I never had. He may come off blunt at times, but it's just he's a caring person.
Yeah.
That's all he is. That's why.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure she knew that it wasn't necessarily a fundraising effort for her behalf, but rather he wanted to give her a chance to explain what's going on. Yeah. So we all have to do our responsibilities. He does, I do, you do, she does, And I never thought it would be a first for KGNZ in any radio history. And let me tell you what happened. As I was getting ready to go to work, I noticed that the pedals were like broke in half. Like, imagine Shawn's face as the pedal, if you will. Only half of it was like this. That's what it looked like. So, I went to the store, the same store I work at, and I bought the last pair of bike pedals that they had on the shelf, and I bought it and paid for it. And I was trying to put the pedals together, and I couldn't get it to work, so my coworker decided to do it for me. so I could eat, because he wanted me to at least be able to eat something after I finished working. You know, so I was able to go to one of the food places out by the mall, and I was able to grab something to eat. And I watched television while I was in my workplace. I went to the break room to watch television while I waited. I instructed him to page me when he was finished, and he sure did a good job. And I cannot thank him for that. If you're watching this, Alex, you did a phenomenal job, and I thank you for that. It means a lot to me. Now, I also found out about an EMT who passed away because the ambulance driver was sleeping on the job. What's your take on this?
Basically, my take is the ambulance driver either had sleep apnea or something. He was apparently falling asleep on the job. That or he was just tired for working long shifts each day. Especially being an EMT, exactly like he is. Probably took a toll on him, and he probably decided, I'm tired, I'm going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So
remember, folks, make sure that you have plenty of sleep before you do any job, regardless of whether it is. Whether it's EMT or anything. In fact, Dustin Tatro is also an EMT as well. And he mentioned that on the first episode of my show for 2018 when it was a Facebook special that we did. And we'll have an encore presentation of that in a couple weeks to give you guys a reminder of what it was like to have Dustin Tatro as a guest for the first time. This time it'll be a YouTube special. So I hope you guys tune in for that. In the meantime, I want to thank Shawn Hardesty for being the best guest. I know his mother couldn't make it today, but other than that, that's going to be the end of the show. Thanks, folks.